Okay, so YouTube just took down my last video for no apparent reason. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I shared that video, but that video was just a bunch of clips from other people's channels. I don't think that was, maybe that's why they took the video down. Um, I don't think they gave me a strike on that, but they just took it down. But, you know, it is what it is, man. YouTube doing what YouTube do. They don't tell you why they just take the damn video down. But as long as I didn't get a strike, I'm back. So I'm here. I'm about to go ahead and get back on my subject. So this video is probably going to be the only one that's showing. Yeah, I know. Me too. But this is the only one that I'm gonna probably be able to really have up. So I'm just gonna go straight into the premise of the last video. This is frustrating. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Okay. So let me say this. Um, audio sounds. Audio sounds. Off now. It's off. The audio sounds off. How do I sound? Do you guys hear me? Hello. Let me take this. How about now? Is that better? Hopefully I sound better now. I pulled the thing loose. You should hear me better now. How do I sound now? Is that better? Does that sound better now? As I'm close, muffled. I pulled the headphones out. Guys. I'm here. So let me just go ahead and get the point out of the damn video, man. YouTube is tripping today, man. I don't know. You never know what's gonna happen with them. That's what I don't like about them, and I hope somebody brings out an alternative. Okay, better. Okay, good. I hope somebody brings out an alternative to YouTube, man, because YouTube is horrible, and they'll kick you off for the simplest stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that really has nothing to do with nothing. But let me go ahead and get to the point, man. So the last video, I'm gonna just bring the whole premise of it. I was just talking about the principles of manhood. I was talking for a damn hour. I'm really pissed off about that. But nonetheless, I was talking about the principles of manhood, what constitutes being a man. And I was just talking about how I just started going down different points. And number one, I was talking about how we need responsibility. I'm gonna check out Twitch. I don't even know what that is. I'll check it out. But I think men need responsibility. You know what? I'm gonna probably play that at the end. I'm just not gonna share my screen. I think that's what did it. Was I shared the screen. So I'm gonna play it again because I think that message needs to be out there. And I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna put the link in the chat again to that message. That's the link right there. So I'm gonna put it back. But let me go ahead and talk about what I was talking about. So number one, I think one of the biggest traits of manhood is just the whole premise of needing responsibility. We need responsibility. I think our lives are empty without responsibility. I think that's one of the biggest things that I think is you talk about a trait of manhood that we need. I don't think you really ever accomplish manhood if you don't embrace and actually, dare I say, desire responsibility. If you don't desire responsibility, then you can't really grasp the concept of being a man. You know what I'm saying? And you may be like, well, what are you talking about? If you don't desire, like, let me tell you one of the best feelings of the world is to give your woman the money for the bills, like give your woman, or to just basically take care of stuff, to take care of the responsibilities in the house. You know what I'm saying? That is crucial. That's crucial. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of responsibilities, um, you know, raising children, doing what you got to do as a man. That's a big piece of manhood. And if you don't desire that, then you probably lacking something. I'm not saying a family. I'm not even not saying every marriage is not for everybody. Some people just probably not gonna get married. I'm not trying to shame people if you get married. It's not my cup of tea. But I do think that there's a big issue when you don't desire responsibility, when you don't want it. I think that's something that's needed because against the backdrop of responsibility, you understand that that's one of the most masculine things you can do. See, you can't protect something if you're not responsible for it. So you can't be a protector if you don't accept responsibility. I don't see, that's what I guess that's something I kind of just came to a second ago. I mean, I just don't see how we can be protective of our community as men, because that's what men's supposed to do. We're supposed to protect, right? That's one of the biggest tenets of being a man, is you're a protector. You're not a protector if you don't accept responsibility. I didn't say blame. There's a difference. And I think a man understands the difference between being the blame for out of wedlock births, the blame for crime, the blame for you fill in the blank, and responsibility. And when you go and make childish platitudes, um, have I got a brother who is single? And let me say this: when you go and make platitudes or different points about being a man, I think this is what I mean by that. Like when you go and make decisions about, like, okay, well, why should I accept responsibility for the ghetto? You either you're not that bright, or you and I both know when I say accept blame and responsibility, there's a difference. When I say accept responsibility, so you can protect something, but like, for example, you could be somebody's bodyguard. You don't have to marry somebody to be their bodyguard. And conversely, you don't have to come into the black community and marry yourself to certain negative aspects of the community that will cost you and harm the trajectory of your life as far as the success that you're trying to accomplish. You don't have to marry those aspects of it. You don't have to marry yourself to the drug dealers. You don't have to marry yourself to Boom Quisha with 6 kids. That's not responsibility. That's running from responsibility, because you really are making intellectual excuses because you don't want to build, because you don't want to accept responsibility. That is something I think that is a big major trait. And that's why I changed the title and called it The Lost Art of Manhood. Because I think we've lost that whole art of understanding, man, I can accept responsibility for my community. It's my community. Whether I like it or not, it's going to always be my community. This is African American descendants of slaves in America. Us, black people in America, this will always be my community till I die. And I will always accept responsibility. I'll never just 100% give up on my community. I give up on certain individuals. I don't see anything wrong with that. I think certain people are lost causes. That's why I say you don't have to marry yourself to something. I'm not telling you to marry yourself to the community, but one of the biggest traits of manhood is accepting responsibility. That way you can protect. I can't protect if I don't accept responsibility. That's number one, right? I think a second trait that I think we're going to talk about besides protecting is providing, which is kind of closely related, but is also separate. I think protecting, providing falls under protection, if you ask me. But when you provide, I think one of the biggest things that we get a lot of confusion about is we think that black men are supposed to just be some zombie robots that go out here and just work themselves to death for nothing and let somebody make an ass out of them. That's on you. If you let a woman make an ass out of you, take all your money, take your resources, and she doesn't come in and reciprocate what it means to be a woman in your direction and support. See, let me explain something. You made it, and you have lived out in front of this woman who you are as a man, and she's vetted you. You can lose your fucking job, and she will be calm. You hear me? You can lose your job, and that woman will be calm. She will understand. You know what? Yeah, he lost his job, but I know what type of man he is. I watched him. I see him up at 2 o'clock in the morning busting his ass. I see him getting up on Saturday mornings going and doing this and doing that. I see him up on Saturday, Sunday afternoon. I see him working on this. I know what type. I know he a hustler. I know he's gonna be okay. You see what I'm saying? Because she knows your character. When a woman know your character, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. In the sense that, and what I mean by that is this: when I say you ain't gotta worry, of course you gotta vet and make sure you got a good woman too. But because she might be a freak, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't ensure that you're gonna always get treated right. But what I'm saying is when you vet a woman and she's smart and she's intelligent and she knows, she's not gonna leave you and be all just tripping or acting a certain way because you don't have. But you can't get that if you don't do the work. See, you can. It's kind of like we want to put the cart before the horse. No, you get that treatment after you have exhibited certain traits, certain character traits of a go-getter, of a man who wants power. I think one of the biggest things that we kind of, it's a bad word, but power. I think, man, look, man, it's something, it's supposed to be something on the inside of you that wakes up, that wants power. Like that's just how I think. It's something on the inside of me that wants to be I want to be a millionaire. Okay. I don't want to be just no $1 or $2 million millionaire either. Okay. I want private jets, 6-car garage, you know what I'm saying? 5,000 square foot mansion, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? My family taken care of. My son got millions of dollars. When I die, he got millions and millions of dollars coming his way. That's what I want. I want to be respected in my community. Like Job talked about, known at the gates, respected. You know what I'm saying? When people mention my name, I want people to say, okay, that's so and so. He's this, he's that. I want to be like him. That's what I want. There's nothing wrong with that. I want to have respect among powerful people that I can make a phone call and they see me. And these guys see me and they know who I am and they respect me as an equal. I can sit and look anybody in the face, any celebrity, any athlete, whoever, and they'll respect me back. And they say, okay, that's so and so, that's Mr. So and so. The respect that you see, that's what I want. And that's what you should want as a man. That's what we should all be striving for as men. Some of us don't give a damn. Some of us don't want that. I ain't saying you gotta want to be on the cover of Fortune magazine. That's me. You know, that's me. You don't have to want that. What I'm saying is you should want the respect, and you should want part of respect is because of who you get respect, guys. A lot of times we say respect is earned. You get respect because of what you've done, your credentials. Carry that level of respect because you're a warrior. You come in your community, you put in work, and so people when they see you, they respect you. You know what I'm saying? And when you speak, it carries weight in your community. That's masculinity. That's one of the biggest traits. So I think it's okay to, and part of that is respect. Some people call it respect, some people call it power. See what I'm saying? The reason we get shot, the reason things happen is people don't respect us. And why did you respect you respect small hats though, don't you? You scared of them because you know what they can do, you know the resources, and you know they didn't put the work in. Because they weren't always there, were they? Go back 100 years ago, Hollywood, they built Hollywood. That's theirs. That's why they run it. They built the music industry in America. We built it, but they finagled us out of it. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why we're dealing with Takashi right now. But people respect Todd Moskowitz. People respect Leo Cohen. People respect certain people. When you get around certain people, respect comes with that. And success and achieving certain things. You know what I'm saying? I just think a lot of times we need to hear that. We need to have that modeled out. We need to have people model out what real masculinity looks like. We have a lot of videos talking about it. A lot of people talking about, but I think certain things need to be adhered to. And I think when you have men that don't want to go after power, don't want to accept responsibility, but want the benefits of power and the benefits of responsibility, which are submission, which are um, respect from others, from other people, from other nations, to be able to go and live and not be viewed as the bottom of the freaking totem pole, as you know. Then I think if you want that, then you have to produce. See, another trait of masculinity that I think is just like this, man. You play a sport, right? You and the coach tell you, hey, this is the way it's gonna be. If you come down and you do this, you're gonna run suicides. You know, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you don't do what you're supposed to do, what's gonna happen? The coach is gonna make you run the suicides, right? So when it comes to masculinity, one of the points is causality. You know what I'm saying? Seed and harvest. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, then there needs to be repercussions for that shit. We understand that when it comes to violence very well. We understand that. That's why brothers ain't quick to just jump. Older brothers that got shit to lose, we understand that shit. I know if I say something to somebody, I'm ready to. If I say something, if we get physical, I'm expecting to finish. I'm not, and I mean maybe to the death. I don't. That's why I don't jump into it. I'm not so quick to get into stuff like that. And if I can help it, I'm gonna talk my way out of it. even though you may feel like you got the best of me verbally. Okay, I got shit to lose. See, that's a smart man. That's a thinking man. That's intelligence. That's a sign of intelligence. You know what I'm saying? And I think you don't get respect a lot of times as a man. Um, oh, he was okay. I think we don't get respect as black men a lot of times in our own community, and I think the people that do just model one or two of these traits. They don't even model the best of them. They model because see, you got to understand everything I just said. It doesn't talk. I'm not talking about morals. I didn't say anything about morals at all. You could be you could be very you could fill out all these ideals of what I just said, and yet and still you can be very immoral. You could be a drug dealer. You could be whatever, but you live by a certain code, certain that you don't break. You know what did Scarface tell Sosa when he was down there? All I my my word is all I don't break my word for nobody. All I have in this world is my word. I don't break it for nobody. It's a certain code. Now Scarface would cut your ass up and shoot you or do whatever he had to do, but at the end of the day, he was still a principled guy. About his sister, he had certain codes he lived by. And Malcolm X said, if you don't live for anything, you'll fall for anything. If you don't live for something, you'll fall for anything. And that's one of the principles I think of masculinity. What's your code? What code have you subscribed to? What code have you um, you know, adopted? I don't think if you haven't adopted a code, that's gonna probably be problematic in dating, in life. You need a code. So yeah, you need to be a protector, you need to be a provider, and also I talked about accepting responsibility because I'm trying to remember what I just talked about. I'm kind of pissed because I had a whole lot of stuff I said. Um, One of the things, man, when you talk about being a man, that I think we don't really talk about a lot of times, and this is just from my past experiences, is expecting a thank you. I think I think a lot of times what we have to understand is men. I think any culture is like that. I think being a man is a thankless job. I do. And I think when you sit around and worry about the fact that you don't feel appreciated, then you really I think that's really counterintuitive because it's really gonna help you stay unappreciated. Um, Guys, let me tell you something. If you get in the car with a woman, first date, right, and you open the door for her, she's gonna say thank you. If you walk in on that first date and y'all walking down the street and you put her on the inside and you on the outside towards the cars, she's gonna she's gonna remember that. I mean, she's gonna say thank you, right? But after a while, after being with her a certain amount of time, she's not gonna say thank you. She's not gonna appreciate it. She's just gonna pretty much expect you to do it. That's the way women are, man. Whatever you do, they're eventually gonna expect you to do that shit. It's normal. And they probably not gonna say thank you. That's human nature. I don't even think and I think when you expect certain not I ain't saying that she shouldn't appreciate you. She probably should. And you know, but at the end of the day, I think what happens is over time, man, it's human nature for people to take certain things for granted. That's just how it is. That's number one. Number two, you may want to do things specifically, not just, I'm not talking about holding the door open. That's not a necessity. But you may do a lot of things because you need to do those things because it is the best for you and you understand the big picture. And I'm not talking about holding the door open, but I'm talking about investing in your community because that's masculine. That's not only is that masculine, that's manhood. Men invest in their communities. They do. And they're not disgruntled in it because of certain things. I'm not even talking about the women thing. I'm just talking about because I don't get the thank you. You don't appreciate the fact that I did everything right. I didn't do this. I didn't get babies out of wedlock. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. It's still your community. You still yeah, it does. I agree. But you still, at the end of the day, should invest in your community. Just like, for example, you and your woman getting an argument, not a knockdown drag out, but let's say y'all getting a little, let's say not 100% choking each other argument, but let's say y'all getting a good heated discussion. Let's say you leave the house, you're angry, right? Do you not pay the bills? Because you don't. Let's say she didn't, she doesn't appreciate something for you. She didn't tell you she appreciated you, right? She doesn't show you her she is appreciative. You get in an argument with her, she don't feel like she should say this, and so you leave. Rent due next week. Are you gonna not pay rent? You're gonna pay rent. She may benefit from it. You may be living in a house that she feels like she wants. You can afford it, but you feel like, man, I wanted something cheaper. She got this more expensive house. I don't want it. It's really for her. So because it benefits her, are you gonna not pay rent or the mortgage, whatever, right? Even if it's in her name, are you gonna not pay it now? Some guys won't. Some guys, oh shit, I ain't paying nothing. Some guys will say, even though I may be upset, I'm gonna still invest because it benefits me because I have a family. I have kids that live in this house. I don't need my kids getting evicted. This is my wife. So if I don't pay the rent and she can't afford it, then her credit's messed up. She's my wife. It benefits me as a man for me to invest in my family. And my family may or may not show appreciation every time. They should, but they may not. And if they don't, I'm not going to stop being a man and not doing what I'm supposed to do because I am my most fulfilled as a man when I provide. That's the way I feel about it. I do. I feel the most fulfilled when I'm able to do that. And I think a lot of times somebody that's single with no kids will never be able to understand that shit and relate to it. You know what I'm saying? I don't expect you to. I'm not shaming you because you don't know. You just don't know. You don't have kids. You stay at home with your mom. You know, you're not going to understand that type of responsibility. You're not going to understand the feeling that comes on, the confidence, the feeling of I can't even put into words the good feeling when I'm able to give. Why do you think, guys? Just look at your body. Why do you think you have a dick and not a coochie? Why do you think you give and the woman receives? This is just all you have to do is look no further than your anatomy, and it'll tell you something about how we should operate as men. We give. We ain't built to receive. I don't care what don't hand me that gender stuff. Okay, not trying to get my channel deleted, but you get what I'm saying. We're not built to receive. We're built to give. We're givers. That's what we do. And when we're functioning at full capacity, that's what we're doing. We're giving. How do you give? Well, in order to give, first of all, you got to do the other two things. You got to build. You got to go out the power so that you can build. A lot of times, another brother might not, if you do something for a brother, he may not show you a thank you because he doesn't feel good having to receive something from another man. A lot of times it hurts that brother. A lot of times brothers feel like, man, I got to take something from this brother. I don't like that. So you feel like, damn, I did this for this cat. He didn't even appreciate it. He couldn't appreciate it because he's a man and he sees that you have to save his ass. He knows that you had to save him. He's probably ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? That happens sometimes. Brothers are ashamed that somebody else had to come. I know dudes right now hurting financially that I can get them in my class. I wouldn't charge them a dime, but the ego, they will not let themselves be brought to the point where a friend of their girlfriend or a friend of somebody that they met through their lady or somebody or their cousin or whoever is able to help them. So I had brothers, I told them, hey man, brother got the same degree I got. I said, man, you come work with me, I train you. Came to class once or twice and quit. I gave it to him. He don't want it, but he's struggling financially. You know what I'm saying? Ego, pride. And I'm not, I'm just saying men are built to give, not receive. That's us. So a lot of times a woman, they built to receive. So a woman, she expects you to do certain things. They'll expect certain things from you. That doesn't, I'm not gonna get caught in the weeds of whether or not she says thank you for me to function in my full capacity as a man. She don't have to say thank you. Now, if she don't, eventually it's gonna cause a problem and we probably not gonna be together. You know what I'm saying? If you that unappreciative, I think it is But it's human nature for people to be unappreciative. And some people will tell you thank you, but it's just a going through the motion. Thank you. And keep it moving. Is that all you need? I need more than that. So it's a double-edged sword. But I think sometimes, man, you be a man regardless of whatever happened. When you have kids, for example, one of the most irresponsible things I think you do as a man is go out and make children and don't take responsibility for your kids. And feel like I told her not to have a baby. So I don't feel like I should be held responsible. And we've gotten to a point in our society where we got grown men that will have their own DNA, their own flesh and blood, walking through this country, through this world, without starving, lights getting cut off, getting molested, going through hell, and your ass is on to the next because you worrying about coochie. See what I'm saying? One of the biggest principles I think are also of manhood, dick control. You have got to learn how to control you. If you can't, you will suffer. You will suffer. And you will be a child. You'll never really realize your full capacity as a man if you can't control your dick. Telling you what I know from experience, I done fucked up. Believe that. When it come to women, I have. I've been blessed not to have a million kids and be all on child support and all that. But I had to learn the hard way a couple of times. I see a fat ass and a pretty face, logic might go out the window sometimes. And you start making bad decisions. You start doing certain things. You start bending those principles that you say you believe in. Because you see a fat ass and a pretty face. Ooh, she got, oh man, well, I would love to get a hold of that. You start telling yourself that, and next thing you know, you compromising. You're not doing what you want, what you say you believe in. You know what I'm saying? You say you want this, you spending all your money. You say you want this, but you not, you say you want to play basketball, but you at the gym laid up watching movies all day with this girl, not at the gym, at the house. You're not going to the gym like you used to. This was when I was younger. Certain things I want to do, I was, a woman will mess you up, bro. Believe that. I could tell you some stories of some stuff that I just made dumb choices because of women, because of a beautiful woman. And I think that is something that a real man, let me tell you something, I think women find this attractive. That's just my belief. Women find it attractive when you don't make them the center of your fucking world anyway. And when they see a man, let me tell you something, they wired that way, man. When they see a man that's focused, that is not enamored with their beauty, because see, it's only natural for women to want to feel beauty and attractive. I'm not a fool. Women want to feel attractive. They want to feel beauty. They want to feel desired, right? And so a beautiful woman, a lot of times, it bugs her if she comes around you and you ain't kissing her ass. You're not all enamored with her beauty and staring at her. Hey, how you doing, sister? And you mind your damn business. And you going to and from where you got to go. You're like, damn, he ain't in my face. He ain't staring at my ass. She curious. Because you've been there. Because you have control. You may be in your mind going crazy. Oh my gosh, she is the truth. But you never show it. You focus. You focused on what you're trying to do. You ain't acting like every man, like a damn dog. I've been to the Freakniks, man. I used to come to Freak. I came to Freaknik 95. And I saw some brothers, a girl was twerking. And they tried to rip her clothes off. I was over there all by Club Nicky's. They tried to rip her clothes off. She jumped in a car. Them niggas start rocking the car and flip that bitch up on the side. Okay? Like just thirsty. Thirsty. You hear me? Thirst. Go in the comment section of some of these girls showing their coochie and see the comments of some of these brothers. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, brother, you have got to learn how to be, when it comes to being a man, having self-control. We talk about it, we say it, but one of the biggest things you need to understand is not just that you need to have dick control. How about time control? How about understanding? Ask yourself, they say per day we spend about 6 hours a day. Lollygag. Every day. 6 hours a day. You ain't doing shit but on your phone, scrolling on Facebook. You know, you might be at home 3 hours watching TV on some mindless bullshit. You might be doing something that you really in your mind feel like you don't need. don't need to do. You know what I'm saying? But you'll waste a lot of time doing foolish stuff because you don't value your time. And that is the most precious asset. Now this ain't I wouldn't call this necessarily manhood. First, I wouldn't put it in there, but I guess it will fall up under discipline. You know what I'm saying? Um, it will fall up under discipline. But I wouldn't just say it's 100% man like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, budgeting your time is key. If you, because this I guess could help because what happens is if you do what you're supposed to do, guys, think of it this way: what would your life be? Ask yourself this question: what would your life be if you went 20 years, not 20, if you went a year, 6 months, and you did everything your conscience told you to do? Every time your conscience said, you know what, you need to be exercising. You know what, you don't need to be eating this food. You know what, you need to be saving your money. You know what you need to be reading. You know what you need to be working on your business. And what if you did everything your conscience told you to do for 6 months? You did everything that you knew was right for 6 months. Where would you be? Hmm? First of all, fat would be first of all of us would be in shape. All of us would have a lot of money in our bank accounts. All of us would probably every day with any business, any venture that we want to do, we'd be so close to it because we have worked all the way. We've worked ourselves into a frenzy. And so we would literally be able to work towards every business venture we want to do. Anything, any ideas, anything you want to do, you'll be able to accomplish it because you've worked yourself that close to it. Because you'll be done everything you need to do. So, I think when it comes as it pertains to this lesson about the lost art of masculinity and manhood, I think what we should do, what we should work towards, guys, is asking yourself, number one, what am I doing with my time? What am I doing with my money? What am I doing? Because guys, a woman, and this is what I'm gonna tell the sisters, if you watching a guy and he says he wants to do something, yet he doesn't take any steps towards it, then that's not a guy that's a character flaw, guys. It is. That's a character flaw. Character flaws doesn't necessarily mean that you're just an evil, low down, dirty person. It might just mean you might be bad with what you say, that you lack integrity. What you say and what you do aren't the same. You lack integrity. You speak with forked tongue. You know, you should, women should strive for brothers that are really out here trying to make shit happen. Because I mean, you see, one of the things we can't obtain power as black men if we're so hell bent on fucking all the damn time. Which, let's be honest, a lot of us, our minds are obsessed with coochie all the damn time. Believe me, I love to have sex just like everybody else. I love to get it in. I don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But it shouldn't consume you like that. It shouldn't be something that you're characterized by. Sex. You know. Um, and I think that's something that we should all strive for. Let me play this video again, man. I'm not gonna show my screen, but I'm gonna play it again. And let's see if we can get this damn thing working this time because they shut me down. But I want y'all to listen to this because this is a very powerful video and they took the video down. It was just talking about manhood. I'm gonna go back to it. I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna call it a night because I got about 30% on this battery. So let me see if I can get this to work. It's gonna sound a little muffled when I get it back in there. So we back. Now let me go over here. Hold on. I'm gonna go back to this video and I'm gonna play it. But this time I'm not gonna share my screen. So give me 1 second. We are right here.
May I pause just a moment and explain to women something that you probably never hear men say because some men are not articulate enough to say it, some are not thoughtful enough to speak it, and most are too private to admit it, but it is real hard to be a man. And you have a whole lot of materials and information that undergirds the challenges you go through, and I'm not minimizing what you go through at all because you go through a whole lot. But just let me tell you, just so that you will know, since you have never spent not one day as a man, let me inform you quite clearly and emphatically that it is hard to be a man. That's why most give up on it, most quit, most faint from it, most fall because of it, and almost all of us die trying to do it. Yes, the devil is out to destroy men. If you look around this room, you will find many saged, aged, gray women. Go to your family reunions and you will see grandmama and big mama and Aunt Kivy, and they're all standing around in the kitchen talking about, girl, is that chicken done yet? I don't know, mama. Let me turn it over in a minute. Get that bread out the oven before it burns. But have you ever asked yourself, where are Grandpapa and Big Papa and Uncle Willie? What happened to Cousin James? What is wrong with our generation that there are few old men left? That means we have few compasses to chart the course and to lead us through the maze of trying to get to our destination on time. We have many men who model to us how to get started, but few that live long enough to show us how to finish. Show us how to make it through the different ages and stages of life, because the challenges of a 20-year-old is far different from the challenges of a 50-year-old, is far different from the challenges of a 70-year-old. And you need somebody who's been there to coach you through the process and look you in the mirror and say, keep coming, boy, don't give up now. I know you lost your job, but keep on coming. Keep on, you can do this. Don't give up. Come on, boy. Come on, come on. I know your feelings is hurt. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, you're not going to be able to do what you used to do 20 years ago. You're not supposed to. You're going to have to readjust and develop a new normal. Come on, come on, come on. If you come on, you're going to get through this. Don't give up. Don't follow her. Don't follow her. She's not the answer. She's a trick. Keep coming this way. We don't. I'm going to talk to you tonight. See, you and Big Mama can sit around while y'all picking collard greens and you can talk to her and she can tell you something. And there's an old woman standing on every corner full of advice ready to tell you, girl, well, this is what you ought to do. But we have few fathers, few voices, few compasses, few teachers, few leaders, few guides to speak to us in the process. And that is why we get lost in the journey of becoming what we were created to be. We get lost in the process. Some as early as 15 and 16 years old get lost in the maze of masculinity. Some make it to 30 and collapse up under a bush of despair. Some are getting to the middle of their lives, changing their sexual orientation, giving up on women altogether, going after men, and you can't figure out why it is. There's nobody coaching us, saying, not that way, go this way. Come on, go this way, go this way. Some men are not articulate enough to say it. Some are not thoughtful enough to speak it, and most are too private to admit it. But it is real hard to be a man. I want to make one comment about understanding men, and I think it is very, very important. Most women in our society were raised in homes where there either was no father, or he was a workaholic, or he was a silent person. So the man becomes, the male persona becomes a mystery in the woman's life. Because he is a
Now, y'all check this out, because he really about to say some deep stuff right here. Check this out.
mystery, we always crave not what we got, we crave what we didn't get. So in that craving need, because you were designed to have certain levels of fulfillment through relationship, we are sociological species. There is such an admiration that it leads to promiscuity, it leads to vulnerability, it leads to a lot of things. You can get a man easier than you can keep one, and this is why. One, you have been trained, when you get him, you don't understand him because you think he is another kind of woman. Yes. You talk to him like he is your sister. You handle him like he is a woman wearing a suit. And you are expecting him to love you in the language that a woman loves you. And that is not how we communicate. That is not how we communicate. You think that because we love differently, we don't love equally. Different does not mean lesser than. We are made to be different. We are not just different biologically, we are different psychologically, we are different emotionally. And what has to happen, there has to come a healing and a deeper understanding so that we become bilingual enough in our communication that you begin to understand that because he doesn't love in your language doesn't mean that he doesn't love at all. I want to say one more thing. I've got a 2-year-old grandbaby at home. She walks around the house dragging a doll all the time. She's already got a cookware set. At 2, she is practicing to be a wife and a mother. My grandson is not practicing to handle babies or to play a father. You have been scripted for a role all of your life that men have not been scripted for. And so by the time you get 18, 20, 30, 40, you've got 40 years of experience in building a persona because you have an idea of what marriage will be like that you built alone. Wow. You didn't build it with us, you built it by yourself. And then you want to bring us in like you brought Ken into Barbie's dollhouse to fit your idea. We are different. We love differently. We have deep emotions. We have deep compassions. And basically, if you can understand men, we are really quite simple. There are very few things that a man needs to be happy, but those things are critical. You may be working hard to give him something that he does not need at all and missing something that he's desperate to have. Listen, let me say to you why this is important. This is not just so important so that you can drop your handkerchief and Prince Charming can pick it up and run up the stairs. Whether you have a son in your life, whether you have an estranged father in your life, or whether you're a woman working in corporate America, you are going to have to speak to men. Yes. If you speak to a man in his language, if you negotiate with him with facts and not feelings, if you come to him intellectually, you can win, you can get the contract, you can do the deal, you can get the business done, you can get your sons away from gangs, you can get your son away from drugs, and you can win your husband. But ladies, let me tell you something about winning your husband. Be his wife, not his pastor. Stop preaching to him. Stop trying to condemn him. Stop turning your house into a sanctuary. A man needs a castle where he can do him. And when you start using the pastor against him, you make men hate church. The man must be the king in his house. Don't bring any other man's image in the house. Am I right about it? And I think it was important to say to women that are loose, but I want to say something to my sisters, and I want you to understand me well. The enemy does want to bind you. He does want to bind you. But I want to tell you something, sisters. The enemy really isn't after you. He really isn't after you. He wants to bind you. But he doesn't have to worry about killing you. You remember when David came down to Ziklag and the women were taken into captivity and the men had to go get the women and get them out. When he brought those women out of captivity, encouraged himself in the Lord and saw them transform, they didn't kill the women, they trapped them. And all through the Bible talks about women being trapped, talks about silly women being trapped because the enemy wants to trap women, but he wants to kill men. So to the woman, we are talking about women that are loose, but when it comes to the man, we are fighting for our lives because the devil wants to kill men. You know why? I want you to understand what's going on, sister. The enemy knows that if he kills your man or your son or your father, he doesn't have to kill you. You'll spend the rest of your life with your heart broken over who fell apart, who didn't love you, who didn't raise you, who didn't turn out like you thought, who wasn't there for you. He'll break your heart with what he does to your son and what happened to your father or what happened to your husband or your boyfriend. And he'll break your back as you carry weight that you were never built to carry because you had no man to stand by your side. And he'll seek to terminate and destroy the life of men because he knows he gets 2 for 1. When he gets a man, he gets you too.
Did you hear that? When he gets a man, he gets you too. This is why I always talk about sisters that have these videos saying it's all about dark skinned women promotion, dark skinned women over. But see, I don't expect women to be community. Women go to the, I know this is going to sound messed up. I expect women to acquiesce to power. And I think women aren't loyal. Women are loyal to accomplishments. I think success. They not loyal to. That's just real. I think you have to get results. That's just, and so if you don't, they're gonna be loyal to themselves, and that's what I think those sisters are talking about. That's just me.
That's why in the book, in the Bible, it talks about in the King James Version to destroy everyone that pisses against the wall. It means to destroy everything that stands up when it urinates. The devil is after men. That's why when Moses was born, there was a decree made by Pharaoh to destroy every male child under 2 years old. He didn't wait till they got old. He started out early wanting to kill them lest they become kings and giants and enter into their destiny. Men are on the hit list of hell. That's why when the baby Jesus was born, Joseph had to take him down into Egypt and hide him for 2 years because Satan had a contract out for men and he was willing to kill every male child until he got to that child, because the prophecy in the book of Genesis said that the seed of the woman would rise up and bruise the head of the seed of the serpent. My sister, he's not after you, he's after your seed. Well, what seed does the woman have? The woman's seed is her son. The prophecy is in the male child. He wants to kill your seed, your son, your father, the masculine voice in your house, until it becomes strange to your daughter to hear a man's voice in the house. So she'll be so desperate for the voice of a man or the touch of a man that the only man who ever touched her was the man who was laying on top of her. He's after the male child. That's why male children die of crib death more readily than women. More male stillborns than female. I don't just have to stay in the street, we can go in the natural. Our male baby boys die more readily at early ages, contract more diseases than their female counterparts. Hear me good. That's why insurance companies are predisposed to expect the man to die. They expect it so well that when a pastor builds a church, they want a key man policy on him. So if he terminates his life, the bill will still be paid. They expect him to die because he's a man, and that's what men do. They die. They expect it so well that they're advising women to have a plan because you outlive us by 10 to 15 years. We die. That's what we do. We die. We die with our backs bent over and our heads and our hearts broken, stressed out, wounded and hurting, trying to figure out what in the world happened to the dream we had. I'm not saying you're not a great woman. I'm not saying you're not a great wife. I'm not saying you're not a great mother. But it is difficult for a man to play a role in a house that he has never seen acted out in all of his life. And somewhere along the way, every man in this room has wanted to quit. And if he stayed, whether he took out the trash or not, and if he stayed, whether he got his degree or not, and if he stayed, and whether he's everything you want him to be or not, you owe it to him to tip your hat and say thanks for staying. Because a good man is so hunted by Satan and sickness and diseases and heart attacks and cancers and curses and rejections and perversions that a good man is almost extinct. We have got to fight back.
That last point about good men are almost extinct. I agree. I do agree. Um, I think, man, I think we living in an age where even being chivalry is being yeah, is being shunned. I think being a gentleman is being disrespected. Like you want to say, if you say you trying to be a gentleman and be nice to women and do certain things, you will be talked about and viewed as a simp. That doesn't mean I'm an asshole. I mean, it doesn't mean I'm gonna let you make an ass out of me. But being a gentleman and being, courteous and being nice to women and certain things, it's just it's frowned upon. It's we actually get props for disrespect now. Like it's on its ear. It's opposite. Um, that's just that. Now, women are, on the other end of the spectrum. I think they, instead of being feminine, I think a lot of times women are pushed to be. This is why I hate these feminist damn white liberals that push a lot of the ideals that you see. All this black girls rock, black girl magic, all that. You're magic. That means you don't need to be taken care of. You rock. You don't need a man. Like, you see how that works? And you, in that cycle that he was just talking about, is perpetuated. You know what I'm saying? But guys, my battery's low. This is my work laptop. Let me get my ass in the house. Y'all have a good one, man. I'll see y'all.